If you're tired of not making progress and you're ready to be the artist you know you're meant to be, you're in the right place. You're listening to the Singer's Path podcast. The Path, or Performing Artists Training Hub, will cover everything, including singing tips that actually work, advice from top industry professionals, and life-changing mindset shifts. Out with the starving artist and in with the thriving artist. I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, professional singer, actor, educator, and entrepreneur. I'm not afraid to speak the truth and stop the gatekeeping of quality information so you can actually become the artist you dream of being. So let's get on the path, shall we? Even though we're all on our own journeys, it always helps to have a guide. Hello. Welcome to the Singer's Path podcast. It's me, your host, Sarah Bishop, and I'm here again, the final of the 4-part special series where we are breaking down the most asked singer questions that I've gotten. Again, if you have some singer questions that I did not answer here that you direly want answered, make sure you communicate with us. Send us an email at singerspath@gmail.com. And we love to read them and connect with you guys. We love that. If you also love this show, because if you're back here and you've listened before, we would love for you to relieve us. Oh my God, at this point that I'm recording this is so late, so I'm like tripping over my own tongue. Lol. We would love if you could leave us a 5-star written review, take a screenshot of that and send it to us our way. And if you do that, we actually enter you to win a free lesson because we really value you taking the time to listen to this today. Very much appreciate it. Yeah, and it helps us get this out to more people. And that's really the mission, is to help more people. So, what's the last big question that singers have? Okay, let's go. We already talked about what the fuck is breath support. We already talked about how to stop singing breathy. We talked about how to, puzzle piece. Oh no, this one's hard. That was weird. Okay, sorry guys. Back. We already talked about breath support. We talked about how to stop singing breathy. We already talked about how to sing higher and what voice type are you? Well, we are at the last and final part. And that is tone quality. How do I get it to good tone quality? Shit. I sound like a nasally squeaky bitch. How do I fix that? Okay, this is how. All right, we're going to talk about how you can actually find a tone that you actually like, even right now, and some things to play with. Because I want to give you some actionable things. So I'll give you some quick things to get you starting to experiment. And then I'll also point you in the direction of that more long-term, actual, real success, actual huge improvement. Okay. So the first thing I got to say, and I know I've been saying this, and this might not apply to you guys on the podcast, sorry. And if this is the case and you would really love to, make sure you join the waitlist so that you know next time you're the first to know and you can jump on board. But group lessons are available for registration only until January 17th, 2026, guys, for the winter trimester, whatever. If you're on the live, make sure I see you in there. I would love to connect with you. If whatever I'm talking about here makes sense, get in there. We love group lessons. Yes, they work just as well as privates, if not better, if not more. You can go to the page. It talks about that. There's tons of student reviews on there. They talk about singing in group. They learn from each other. Everybody's kind and supportive. If you're nervous to sing in front of others, this is the perfect place to work on those nerves. This is the perfect place to work on audition material. This is the perfect place to train your ear if you're a teacher. This is the perfect place just to sing for the sake of fucking singing and actually improve really fucking fast and substantially. Okay. I've been so emotionally moved by the progress that I've seen with my students. I'm so proud of them. It's my favorite thing to teach. I feel so blessed to have this container. And I just know if you're feeling any of that niggle to join, you're like, oh, I want to do that. That's your sign, baby. We want you in there. You're being called. So do it. Follow it. If you want to join on the live here, you can go to the link in my bio on the main page. And also know that there is a prereq. Okay, so that's so that we get the results, so that we're all on the same page. Okay, so you do have to have pillars. I understand it's an investment. There are also payment plans, or hey, if you're I want to join so bad, but I really can't because I don't have the prereq. I can't do both at the same time. Then start with pillars, babe. That will get you fucking leaps and bounds, okay? And we'll hope to see you in next time. I can't guarantee when that will be the next time. With my life, every time I do these group lessons, I can't be like, this is always happening forever and always. It is a special thing that I love, but like life happens, right? I book jobs, like family stuff, like I don't know. So if you want in, if you're feeling the pull, that's your sign, babe. And I hope to see you in there because I love you and I'd love to connect with you, really, truly. Okay. If you're listening on the podcast again and you missed it, make sure you join the wait list. All right. So let's get into this tone quality stuff. Okay. Tone quality, another kind of vague, elusive thing. Like we kind of know what that means. We can hear it. We can know if we like it or not. But how do we get to a good tone quality? Well, here's a couple pieces. Okay. If you haven't listened to the other 3 parts, one of the first steps to good tone quality is actually not singing as breathy and getting good resistance. That's a big part of it. That's what's going to give it its ringiness and its overtones. So if you need help with that first step, go listen to that episode. So resistance is the first step to ringiness. Okay. The second thing, and I'm going to say this before we get really fancy. Again, and I know I sound like a broken record, but a big way to get to a good tone is to regulate and permit yourself to have a bad tone. The only way out is through, especially as you're actually balancing, which is going to be my next answer for how to get a good tone quality. Vocal balance is everything for tone quality. Truly. Like fucking truly. When you're getting efficient function, that's when your fucking authentic sound, all the teachers like, get your authentic sound. That's what it is, bitch. That's what it is, bitch. Vocal balance. That's what it is. Functionality, mixing. And you know what's also cool about mixing is you're also acoustically mixing the treble and bass frequencies, which also make up the tone. What's your mix, right? How are you in your fucking skull and your body blending the sound in your body to be perceived by others? That has to do with tone, right? So again, in the most actionable step, the long road step, quote unquote, long road, the actual fucking solution is, again, like I said, get your ass in pillars and come in group. Now, one other thing I'll offer, if you're like, well, again, financially, that's a jump for me now. There's also the Discover Masterclass, I always say that, Discover Mini Course, okay? That's a way cheaper option to get you to at least the first steps to understanding vocal balance. Okay, that will teach you to be your own, teach you to start to be your own voice teacher, legitimately, know what the voice teachers use. And that's way cheaper. So that's a good place to start. Okay. But that will start moving you in the direction of vocal balance. Okay. Vocal balance is huge in your tone quality because then it gives you an opportunity to actually have more choice in your sound and also get your most efficient ringy talent that exists. And this is what I was saying before. The only way to vocal balance is through shitty sounds. I'm sorry. So before we get to balance, unfortunately, you have to learn to regulate your system while sounding like shit. Like I said, it's you got to become the ugly duckling before you become the pretty swan. And no matter what level you are of learning to sing, everybody has to do this. I don't care if you've been in fucking Hamilton. Everybody's going to not like their sound sometimes while they're experimenting. The way to a good tone is to experiment with a bad tone. Okay? Because if you're not willing to sit with that tone and fuck with it, you're never going to work through it. You're never going to find the subtle nuances that actually make or break the difference in your sound. Actually, sounds crazy. This is left field, but it's true. Nervous system regulation and getting your body to cooperate, stay present in your body enough to actually do the subtle physical nuanced changes. They're so tiny to be able to feel them and know what to do. That's a huge step. I don't think anyone's ever said that. How do you get a good tone? Oh, regulate your system so you can actually fucking move your voice a little bit. Huge. Huge. Most of you aren't fucking doing that. It's you get triggered hearing nay, nay. You're like, I'm done. I left my body. Oh my God, a gee, forget it. You guys are like, I hate it. I can't. I hate it. Oh, I hate it. And then you never practice it. And then you stay exactly where the fuck you are. And you're like, I hate the tone quality in my head voice. I'm like, well, you never live up there. And you're like, well, it sounds bad. And I'm like, yeah, it has to sound bad while you're strengthening it and learning to figure it out. It only sounds bad before it sounds good. Okay. So that's huge, actually. How do you get a tone quality? Let it sound bad and get your body okay with it. Get your heart and your system. Make sure your heart rate doesn't fucking go up. Make sure you don't want to crawl out of your skin when you sound bad for a second. Huge. Huge. Okay. Now we'll do one other thing that I'm just slapping. I'm just laying bars down on this. Bars and bars and bars. One other tone quality thing that we'll talk about here that's more like functional and actually a little bit more advanced that you can feel right now. Laryngeal position. This is huge for tone quality. It is actually really advanced. So this is something, once you're like larynx position comes in with balance as well. But like having masterful nuanced control of laryngeal position has a great deal to do with the warmth of the sound. Most of you don't like your sound because it sounds nasal or too bright or pinched or little girly or nasty. A lot of that can be traced back to a larynx that is sitting too high. Now, before you jump down my fucking throat, again, there's a spectrum of singing. There is no like, this is the exact position of the larynx, or the larynx always sits low, or the larynx is always high. Stop thinking in those black and white bullshit. That's not how it works. It's always moving. It's a mechanism, okay? It's in relation to. It's a scale. It's a spectrum. When you sound like this, your larynx is too high in relation to where it would be rested, okay? Not all like when you go higher in your voice, your larynx is going to go up. When you try to mix belt high, your larynx is going to go up. That's not bad. That's actually necessary. Okay. We actually do exercises called pharyngeal exercises that focus on a narrowing of the pharynx and a raising of the larynx. Okay. Nay. Like we actually do. And this is what I mean. If your system's not on board to like fuck with this, you're never going to do what you want to do. Okay. So that's why this is step one. But that bright quality is actually the safest way to mix belt high. That's why we use it. It's necessary. That's why it sounds bright. Okay? That's necessary. Also, the position of the larynx and the shape of the mouth will help with tone quality for understanding pockets of resonance. So this is what I mean, like voice is a spectrum. You finding resonance in one area of your voice is not going to be the same as finding resonance in a different area of your voice. Sorry. You're going to find resonance in chest different than how you would find it in your second passaggio in D&E. Okay? Each is different. Okay? So think about it. Like again, rule of opposites. So if what we're learning is a high larynx, can make it sound kind of bright and like nasty and nasal. Sometimes we do that on purpose for function. If it's doing it in a way that you're like, I hate this sound. Okay? What's the opposite? If it's too high, it needs to go down. So in relation to that, you would need to lower your larynx. Okay? That is what causes the sound to warm up. Okay? It adds depth. When your larynx is lower, it adds almost bass quality, bass frequency. Versus that higher, brighter larynx, the reason it sounds bright and nasal and bratty, some of the air might be coming out of your nose, which is why it might sound like genuinely nasal. But a lot of it is just, it has a lot of treble. Has a lot of cut. You don't like it? It sounds too bright, too pingy. Now, the way to get your larynx down is to think a little dumb. So instead of going, hey, you think the opposite. Okay, let me see if I could do it on the same note. Hey, nay, nay, nay. So that's bright, high larynx. Nay, nay, nay. Nay, nay, nay. That would be using a nay on a dumb, right? So my larynx went all the way up here, and then I dropped. It's the same note, I think. Nay. I'm singing the same note, okay? but you can hear the difference in the treble quality versus the bass quality in the mix. Or, well, I'm not really mixing there, but like in the acoustical mix. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Again, it's a spectrum. It's a balance. It's a rule of opposites. Okay. So if the sound is too bright, you need to lower the larynx. If the sound is imposed, which is you pressing the larynx, which comes with a whole other slew of fucking problems. Okay? Too much, like muscle tension in other ways, right? This can cause muscle tension and this can cause muscle tension. We just generally want to live in a rested position. Okay? If we're gonna blanket something, rule of thumb, try to live in a more rested position. Okay? That's going to greatly improve your tone quality. If it's too bright, you need to think dumb to warm up your sound. If it's too like open and it doesn't have cut at all and is falling back and all of those things that people say, you bring in a brightness or a pharyngeal, a narrowing of the pharynx, a bright, a kind of bratty quality, and that adds treble. That's going to brighten the tone. Okay? So when someone like Ariana Grande in Glinda or for Wicked, she's like a vocal master. Like she's in that booth, like deciding how she wants something to say, how she wants it to sound. So she chose for Glinda, for her character, I think, unless someone fucking did her dirty, but I feel like they didn't. I feel like she chose this. Her larynx sits higher for a brighter, girlier sound. And she also has a lack of resistance for airiness, for this kind of ethereal thing. And it's really bright. So, but I don't know if I can even sing it this late. Choosing it has that kind of like little girl brightness. And I think she kind of chose it versus something that would have more richness in tone quality was if she got better chord closure and she got her larynx down. Now, that was not a good example because it's 2 a.m. and my husband's sleeping, so I can't fucking sing it. But, like, you can hear the difference versus by and by, or imposed, even if I went really too far. I can't even do it. I'm, like, trying to press it down. So, basically, here's the thing. If you're, like, an opera singer and everything sounds, like, too dark and weird and tense, and you sound old, you probably have an imposed larynx. Sorry if that offended anyone. My bad. If you sound bright, your tone, your larynx is probably too high. So you gotta release it. Have it rest. If it's too high, lower it. If it's too low, raise it. Okay? So it's resting. Huge, huge tone stuff. There's so many more layers to this. There's whole resonance pockets. There's vowel shapes that can influence tone. There's tension. There's where your tongue is can influence tone. Like we could go for fucking hours into tone. But if you don't have balance, you don't have tone. If you don't have resistance, you don't have tone. Okay? So do those first steps and then we'll fuck with the tone. Actually, the tone will improve if you're finding balance more and you understand how to live more comfortably in those areas of the voice. One thing I will say when people hate their tone in their head voice, which is why they don't want to fucking sing up there because I think they sound squeaky. A lot of you aren't creating the proper space, right? And sometimes it's palate, but sometimes it's just dropping your fucking jaw and treating everything a little bit more open up there is going to make the tone sound better. So instead of like keeping your mouth closed, even just changing the space that your jaw is dropping is going to make a big difference. Especially a lot of people train in head voice on E's and Oo's because, and I do that too, because that's what gets your vocal, it's like the most natural thing to get your vocal folds thin. But it's like when I have someone, I'm like, I'll have a student, I'm like, hey, sing an E up here, but then open your mouth. They're like, what the fuck? I can't. Like it changes the vowel. So then you're learning how to hold basically the vowel with your internal like tongue shape, E, and then you're learning to unhinge your jaw. So anyway, there's many layers, bitch. We could go so fucking deep. This is why I'm like, I'm sorry, fucking respectfully, there is no fucking quick fix, bitch. There's no quick one secret answer, bitch. The secret answer is balance your goddamn voice. Learn what your voice needs and give it that. Sorry, that's the fucking secret. You want a secret? Learn what you need. Give yourself that. Wow. All right. That's the way to a better tone. Better tone, better life. Happy wife, better life. Better tone. Phone home, bitch. No, I don't know. What am I saying? God knows. All right. I'm delirious. I'm going to go to sleep. This is almost as unhinged as my other favorite podcast episodes when I was drunk with DJ during happy hour. I think we talked about, I don't even remember what we fucking talked about. Drunk with DJ on Happy Hour, Singer's Path podcast. The other one, unhinged as fuck. We did a voiceover roulette. That was insane. We read voiceover sides that we got, like either had as an actual audition or we got them from like ChatGPT. Sorry about it. They were horrific. And DJ's really good at it. So I looked dumb as fuck. Horrific. If you want to hear top level cringe, even more so than getting bombarded by a Middle Eastern man on my live when I didn't mean to accept him, go check this out. Please go listen. If you're on the live, please go follow Singer's Path podcast for all these episodes. There's so many more. I think we have over 50 episodes from the last year. I'm just fucking dropping bars, bitch. It's time. This shit needs to get out in the world. I'm ready to connect with the people that need it. I'm given so much information. I want to help. So help me push this out, okay? Go follow, share with your friends, listen to me being fucking unwell. And also, if you love what I'm putting down on the live, you want to join group lessons, get your butt in there. I can't wait to connect with you. That is the best way and really cheapest and only way to work with me right now. And I would love to help you. If you're listening to the live, make sure you get on the wait list so you don't miss it next time. And if you want something that's lower price just to get you started, Discover is a really good place to start. Okay, so Discover mini course. All of that's in the link in my bio on my page on TikTok. I'll link everything below in the show notes. Leave us a 5-star written review. Would really appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts. This helps me get this information out to more artists all over the world. Let's work together to spread the joys of music. Until next time, I'm your host, Sarah Bishop, signing off from the Singer's Path podcast. Thanks for listening.